Guys, so Joshua Zimmerman escaped custody on June 14th, and here's what we know so far. The guy became a ghost in the machine. He made it out of the jail, or I'm sorry, the courthouse, on June 14th, and from there he was seen in the area of Airways Boulevard after hitching a ride. He went across the street from the courthouse, essentially, goes to a gas station, tells a guy that he had a domestic situation, gets in the car. Back it up before he gets in the car. The guy says, "Where are you going?" They had a little exchange. Zimmerman asks him, "Where are you going?" The guy goes, "I'm going to Memphis." And Zimmerman says, "Oh, amazing, me too." So he gets in the car. They start going to Memphis, right? Zimmerman says, "I got to get out. This is my stop," even though they're not in Memphis yet, right? So he gets out right before the border that crosses into Memphis. Driver goes on, he doesn't know there's an escapee. Nobody knows there's an escapee. So he leaves, thinking he just did a good deed for the day. He's all happy. Now, an hour and a half later, the DeSoto County sheriff, tough guy, he gets wind that there's an escapee. So he says, "Let's take a helicopter." So they take the helicopter. I didn't sleep until 5 a.m. when I was watching this thing, because I had to watch it like 20 times to see what the hell are these morons doing. They get in a helicopter and they circle the courthouse as if Zimmerman is in the building. So they're circling, and I'm like, maybe they're gonna wait for that tip to come in, right? So they're circling, nothing. For about an hour and a half, they make one little loop to where Zimmerman was, right? One loop. And that's enough. Let's go get gas. So they land, get gas, probably eat, right? Relax, get back in the helicopter, and then they do it again. They don't expand the search. They do the same loop-de-loop. It's as if they're drunk and they're driving. If you guys, I'm going to put the video up later. That it's like a screen recording. I'm going to fast forward it so we don't have to watch the hour and a half. But they look drunk. I mean, they're going in zigzags. They're going like the weirdest maneuvers. They don't know what they're looking for. They don't know how to search for an escapee whatsoever. And that's clear from the flight pattern. You don't go around the place you escaped for 2 hours, land and get coffee, and then do it again. Meanwhile, the guy is in like 20 minutes away. He got a ride. So news starts to come out slowly because the guy is suspected of attempting to kill somebody. So the news is slowly seeping out about an escape. So slow that this dude doesn't even call the cops for like forever and says, "Guys, just so you know, I gave that guy a ride to Memphis." And they say, "What do you mean you gave him a ride to Memphis?" They talk with the driver, tells him where he dropped him off. They confirm it was Zimmerman. So DeSoto County sheriff, you've got some explaining to do. I mean, it makes no sense as to how an suspected murderer made it that far, got in a ride, got all of that. You guys are flying your little helicopter in a loop. How much does it cost to fly that thing? You guys should sell it. Don't even use it. Memphis police, they did a better job with their helicopter, and they actually searched kind of, I mean, you could tell that they were trying something, but there are a lot of interesting things on that radar that day, guys. There's an unmarked helicopter that comes in, and now I'm seeing where all of the conspiracies are coming from. An unmarked helicopter comes in like that DeSoto area, 300 feet over the ground, okay? So it's like you can throw a damn basketball if you're LeBron and hit the thing. So it's flying, and it stays in a little, creek thing, like a bed of a creek, 70 feet up, for 45 minutes, and then it leaves, okay? That's just one of the other weird things. Why did this military style helicopter show up right after a prison break or a court escape, hover over? They're either gonna find Zimmerman dead in that swamp that thing was hovering over, and that'll tell us if it was in a perfect world, I guess, if Zimmerman is with the CIA or some weird crazy stuff. That explains the helicopter over a swamp, especially if they find a body there. That would be very interesting. That means they would have killed him the day he got out. But that's that's a far stretch. He's at large. He's in DeSoto County, most likely. He possibly made it into Memphis again. So you guys have to be on the lookout out there. You have to start calling the police more. And you guys are. There are people calling the police. There are neighbors that are now, finally, I'm being told from people in the neighborhoods, they're putting up the ring cameras. I'm starting to get videos from locals. It's really good. It's like what we were getting for Danilo, right? So we're seeing helicopters at night, getting videos like that. And once I get I always ask if I can share them, and then I'll share them. But they're seeing activity, and that town, the thing is a lot of people still don't know about the escape. It's been a month. It's time to start telling them about the escape. The guy's gonna get desperate. You don't wanna learn about an escape when the guy's already desperate 4 weeks in. You wanna know about it beforehand. Again, check your ring cameras, check your surveillance. It's very likely he's in that area. back to the radar. They had searched. What's interesting is they swarmed not the Memphis airport, but the airports around it, guys. Like these little tiny airports. They swarmed the heck out of them. They had police there. They had helicopters doing tight search maneuvers over the runways and stuff. Not at the Memphis International Airport, but at the small airports. And it makes you wonder, were they thinking that Zimmerman might have connections to a plane? You know, if you look at the day of the escape and the next day, the search is very heavy on these airport runways. And not Memphis airport. It's the airports there's a small airport in Mississippi, a small airport in Tennessee, and it's right near, if you have a car, it's right near the escape, okay? And Zimmerman had access to cars. So the day of the escape and the next day, for them to be heavily focused on securing an airport runway, 2 airport runways, and not the main international airport, it makes you wonder, were they thinking that this guy is going to get in a plane? If that happened, Zimmerman is on the East Coast. I mean, he's in Mexico. He could be anywhere if he got on a plane, you know what I mean? But it's crazy that's where they were heavily searching, and the sheriff comes back like a day later. He wasn't even in town on the day of the escape. Who called the shots, you know? So, like, who was the guy that sent that helicopter in a circle? I hope you're paying for the gas and not DeSoto County. I would not pay my taxes if I lived in DeSoto County until they take their own money out of their pocket and pay for that helicopter joyride. Dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. They could have bought a DJI drone and done it way better. These pilots, I mean, I'm sorry if you're watching this, pilot, and I'm sure you were following orders, but you were taking orders from Helen Keller. You were going in the weirdest circle. It wasn't even a circle, dude. It was like that search aided in the escape, if you think about it, okay? Because if Zimmerman is now, like, on that day, hears about the news. Well, probably not, because it wasn't on the news. What the heck am I talking about? So Zimmerman is probably wondering why they didn't do any stories about the guy. This thing was botched. And yeah, Zimmerman broke out. He had help from the inside, but then there was also a lot of idiots that kind of are just that stupid, that take orders from outside entities and don't know how to do their job. When you work at a courthouse, you serve the people of that county, right? So I live in Delaware County. If Chester County called Delaware County and said, hey, I need you to delete surveillance, it's not happening. You know, that's just not. And Pennsylvania, it has its fair share of corruption, okay? But we won't even do that. Pennsylvania won't even, listen, the PA goes far into the corrupt stuff, but we don't delete surveillance, okay? That's the one thing that PAs, if you can get the surveillance, I'm not saying it's always available in PA, but they don't delete it, you know. DeSoto County is wild, okay? It's a wild place, and not because of the residents, more so because of the sheriff. The guy belongs in the wild, wild west. This is a joke of a county, okay? You have a sheriff on TV talking about tough on crime, and I'm gonna blow down the doors, and we don't believe in knocking, and the craziest stuff, right? You're like, cool, gung-ho. Only for this moron to let all the killers go. I mean, give me a break. Again, guys, if you see something, say something. If you guys know the sheriff, call him and ask him to do a press conference. Look, you're a sheriff of an American county, right? So, like, here in the U.S., we have elections, and this is going to be your first and last time in office as a sheriff, and the DA too. If you guys think that you can come in to that county and take advantage of the residents and make... What are you taking them for, idiots? Like, do you think everybody in DeSoto County is stupid or something? There's an escaped killer, and you guys are talking about your initiatives to catch the juveniles and this and that. Catch the killer, worry about the juvie kids later. Stop worrying about the little marijuana charges that you guys are bragging about in DeSoto County and go catch an escaped killer who's going to kill again, and the blood is going to be on what? Again, it's going to be on the hands of DeSoto County, but at the end of the day, they're going to get sleep at night. But let me tell you, if you guys vote these idiots back in, that's on you. I'm not going to cover another escape in that region with it. A place that's covered, the place is run by morons that let a killer out. There was inside job. It was an inside job, but the problem is the place was so corrupt that the inside job became more so a slop. It was a mess. It was so corrupt that the people that worked there thought it was normal. Okay, let that sink in. People that work in the courthouse get a phone call from their boss saying, yo, I just got a call from, he obviously didn't say outside entity. He told them who it was. And they said, yeah, we'll delete the footage. If somebody called a courthouse and said delete the footage, the only thing that's getting deleted is that person's job, okay? You cannot request footage to get deleted. You just can't. And you can't say that you did it because somebody told you to. If I go and shoot somebody and kill them, it's not a defense to say, hey, I got a call. Listen, the governor called me and he said, I have to go kill this guy. Outside entity. My bad. I shouldn't. No. What are you, an idiot? Like, it's a courthouse. You're in charge. You're the DA. You're charging the guy. The sheriff, you're supposed to hold the guy. You protect and serve. Who the hell are you protecting? Like, at the end of the day, you guys have it all backwards. You serve the people in DeSoto County. You have to hold a press conference for the people. Stop having backdoor deals. Hey, sheriff, stop talking shit about the DA on national TV. Well, you can't even get on national TV. It's sad. You're on DeSoto Town, whatever the heck that is. You're talking trash about each other. You guys are like a couple that's going through the worst part of a relationship that you just can't fix. That's the DeSoto County Sheriff, and that's the DA talking crap about each other. You have the DA calling the county an outside entity and yada, yada. You have the sheriff on vacation who comes back pissed off because he just got called out for being a thug. And he holds a press conference in his 4x4 office and says, no, whatever the DA said, no. But dude, he said, say it to my face, this is not a thug street fight, dude. This is you have a killer on the run. You guys know that. There's a killer on the run. Stop having your little quarrel. Tell the public what's going on. The sheriff says he knows what happened to the surveillance, and he's very mad at the DA for doing his job. But, dude, grow up. If you're a thug, admit it. If you're not, take the damn podium and tell people what's going on. If you have nothing to hide, why aren't you talking? It's literally an escape. The less you say, the more shady you're starting to look. We're a month in, and the only thing you said as a sheriff is you told the DA to shut up. So why should the DA shut up? Does he know something that he should be saying? You know what I mean? So guys, at the end of the day, something's going on in that county, and it's not like they're hiding it. It's DeSoto County, and they're the people that are doing a lot of the corruption there are very stupid, or they're taking you all as idiots and nobody's paying attention and it worked. Because you don't have a guy leave a courthouse and it's the first time it ever happened and everything goes missing and yada. No, if the guy just left, okay. But when you have him leave, when you have him take the surveillance, when you have him gone for 30 days, when you have 0 sightings, when you have a sheriff telling the DA to shut up, what's going on in DeSoto County? Why can't the DA talk? He can. Is he a wimp? Yeah, he is. I'm sorry. But if I was DA, I'd be up at that podium with an AR and I'd say, all right, we're going to go catch this guy. I'm going to deal with the sheriff later. You want to see the manhunt? Let's go. I'd grab the media and go into the woods with them so they can get it on camera as we pop this guy's head off. That's what you guys have to do when there's a killer on the loose. You're not supposed to hold press conferences that battle back and forth. You're telling on, the DA's telling on the sheriff, and then the sheriff rushes back from vacation to hold, I'm not even going to call it, this is literally a news conference, but like a parent-teacher conference style, where the sheriff holds a news conference, right, in his office with one camera guy or two, and he says that the DA should shut up, run in your mouth kind of stuff. What is going on there, guys? You have an escaped killer on the loose and you're worried about politics and you're worried about getting caught. That's what it is. So if you see something, say something. If you know something, say something. If you live in that county and you've been victimized by corruption, now is the time to start saying stuff, because it's going to become open season on that place soon. It's going to be wild when the government gets made, they look like idiots, the court system. And it's not like DeSoto County can't make the courts look like that. It's going to piss them off. And with that comes sweeping indictments. So again, guys, if you see something, say something, call 911, check your ring cameras, check your surveillance, check the dumpsters, check everywhere. Don't go looking for the guy. Don't leave your property to search for him. If you have a gun, keep it on you. If he comes into your house, I don't know the laws in Mississippi, but if it's a stand your ground law, shoot him and you'll get the reward. Obviously, if he's running from you, you can't kill. I don't know how it is in Mississippi, but again, you see something, say something. Dial 911. If you see him, call the U.S. Marshals if you have information. And then you can also call our tip line that's on my Twitter from Dog the Bounty Hunter if you have information. But I'll be back on later with any updates.